Has it been awkward to talk about sex with couples? I know it was for us. And at first, let me say that we aren't shy. We don't have a problem talking about sex with each other or talking about it with other couples. We can be very open. And while we're open, we've had this experience. We get to the topic of sex and we would ask a very broad question, something like, how's your sex life? They get real quiet and they wouldn't say anything. And it was kind of awkward. And after we experienced this a number of times, we started to offer specific topics to talk about. And this seemed to open up the conversation. Now, I know for some marriage mentors, it's very uncomfortable talking about sex. So let me give you 4 topics that we use that hopefully will help you to ease the awkwardness. Topic number 1, satisfaction with sex. Are you satisfied with your sex life? A majority of the distressed couples that we meet with would say they're not satisfied. Well, let me correct that. A majority of the people that we meet with would say that they're not satisfied. One person is satisfied and one person is not. So the couple has a different viewpoint. But this question can lead into deeper issues that causes someone to be dissatisfied. I was nervous when I first started talking about this. I thought it would get into like the physical aspects of sex. I thought it'd be about like a sex position or something, and I didn't want to go there. But what I have learned is it's usually about other areas, things like timing or frequency or kids or romance or communication or conflict management. It's about other issues. And when they do want to talk about something that's physical, I will turn the conversation into their ability to be able to talk to one another about what they like or dislike. See, I can't tell somebody what they like. It's up to the couple to express that to each other. Topic number 2, God wants married couples to have mind-blowing sex. There's this mixed view of sex in our world. Our culture has done a great job of perverting sex. So pornography, TV, sexual abuse, sexual addiction has turned sex into something that it isn't. And I'm not sure that our churches do a great job about teaching about healthy and godly sexuality. So about 40% of the people that we meet with have a difficult time seeing sex as something that is pure and holy. And if you come into marriage with these beliefs, it can cause problems in your relationship. So, for example, if you believe that sex is dirty, you're going to have some difficulties with that. So we talk about, what is your view of sex? Is it something that's holy and pleasing to God? Are there other viewpoints that cause you to view sex as something else? Topic number 3 is talking about sex. The majority of people that we meet don't find it easy to talk to their spouse about sex. And there are some cultural issues on the topic of sex, but sexual intimacy is often about other things. It's about, your general feeling of connectedness, communication, or conflict management. Now, some people, especially in a distressed marriage, will bring up sex right away, very first session, and they've identified this as an issue between them. And we might ask them, well, what is your relationship goal and what would you like to achieve? Honestly, though, they really can't get too far into it unless we start going into things like communication and conflict management that will build other parts of their relationship. Topic number 4 is mismatched desire. Issues with sex often are because one person wants sex and the other one doesn't. And the reasons can be complex. Again, it has to do with underlying beliefs, relationship connection, or maybe physical issues. But this mismatch can result in one person feeling rejected and another person feeling pressured. And when the couple doesn't have good conflict management skills, this issue creates a pattern, and this pattern can cause disconnection. So we talk about mismatched desires. We talk about rejection or pressure. How do they resolve it when they don't want to have sex? I hope that these 4 topics will give you greater confidence when it comes to talking about sex and maybe take away some of the awkwardness. Sex is complex and it's tough to cover in a brief blog. We do cover these and other topics in our online material. So tips for marriage mentors. Ask about satisfaction about their physical relationship. I'll often ask if they're satisfied. And that question can bring up other problem issues that they may need to work through. I will tell you though, I tend not to ask this in a group setting because I don't want to put anybody on the spot. 2, sex is something pure and holy. Our underlying beliefs about sexuality can impact how we think about sex inside of our relationship. And so we'll dive into that. Talking with each other about sex. Many couples aren't comfortable talking about it. And we'll talk to them about their ability to talk about it. And can they be more open and honest with each other and set up maybe some ways to be able to do that. And finally, mismatched desire. We'll talk a lot about this and how they may have different expectations for their sexuality. And then, are you feeling pressure? Are you feeling rejected? And what will you do when someone doesn't want to have sex? So those 4 areas again: satisfaction with the relationship, sex is something that's pure and holy, talking about sex with one another, and mismatched desire.